And so, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, hello. Let's begin by taking a deep breath and letting go. Another deep breath in and let go. We're going to start with a little drumming and chanting, and there are some drums up here, and there's a basket of rattles and shakers and other fun things over there. By all means, feel free to grab something and help create this space together. So don't all come up at once, or do, or Heather's going to hand you things maybe. There we go. And there's a couple drums up here. The song is very simple, but repeat after me. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour.
This is the place, and now is the hour.
We recognize our sacred worth. We have the power to transform the earth. Yeah, we do. Here we go. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. And we recognize our sacred worth. We have the power to transform the earth. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. And we recognize our sacred worth. We have the power to transform the earth. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. And we recognize our sacred worth. We have the power to transform the earth. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. And we recognize our sacred worth. We have the power to transform the earth. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. And we recognize our sacred worth. We have the power to transform the earth. And we recognize our sacred worth. We have the power to transform the earth. And take another deep breath on that one. And so we do our observe and interact practice. Take a moment, observe, look around the room, see who's here in the space with you, and then interact. We stand up, we go say hello, we introduce ourselves to someone, we welcome them into the space. And for those of you who are viewing us online on YouTube and Facebook, we are so grateful that you are here, and we want to know that you're here. So please put your name and where you're viewing from in the chat, and we are so grateful that you've joined us today. All right, everybody, we know you love each other so much, but find your way back to your seat and turn your attention up here. Follow the band, let's sing together.
Look at the person next to you.
Look at the person next to you.
Say, I recognize the God in you.
I recognize the God in you.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat
We
after
come
me.
together.
We come 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 together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
Now look at the person next to you.
Now look at the person next to you.
God loves you and I love you too.
God loves you and I love you too.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love. Every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite to honor the God in each other.
Look at the person next to you.
Now look at the person next to you.
Say namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste and I bow to you.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together. We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
We come together. We come together.
We come together.
We come together in the name of love. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Woo! That is good. You guys feel good? It's a good day. So good morning and welcome everyone to our Sunday morning celebration here at Center for Spiritual Living Santa Cruz. If you haven't already, please make sure your phones are on silent. A special welcome to those of you watching us on YouTube and Facebook. We're so pleased that you chose to join us this morning for this very special day. Whether you are here in person or viewing online, welcome to the center. My name is Leah Simone Reed. My pronouns are she and her, and my ancestors come from Ireland and Italy. We have a very special morning plan for you. We have Reverend, buckle up, okay. We have Reverend Dr. Bob Dean leading us in our spiritual practice. You might know we have some special guests today. Practitioner Jessica Chris is in the back of the room holding us in this great incubator space of prayer through service. Today's musical muse is a CSL House band joined with Heather Houston and the Yalalati Choir. And our message will be delivered to us through Reverend Elijah Christopher and the Synthesis Fellowship. Yes. Okay. Please do stay after service for our community potluck and a social hour. And also after service today is a monthly song circle with Heather Houston at 12:30 here in the sanctuary. Practitioners and ministers are available also for prayer after service. Don't leave here with a heavy heart, and also share your joy. They love to pray with you. You can also place prayer requests in our prayer box in the back, or send them to prayer@cslsantacruz.org, and know that those will be prayed upon throughout the week. Okay, I'd like to introduce you to our mission, purpose, and vision statement. Please join me as we speak out loud together our mission, purpose, and vision. Let's say this together mindfully. Our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to spiritual magnificence. Our vision is a world that works for everyone and all life on earth. We are a community dedicated to possibility. Here at CSL Santa Cruz, we stand with all the centers of spiritual living around the world, grounded in the knowing that the teachings of Ernest Holmes speak directly to liberty, equality, equity, inclusion, human rights, compassion, safety, self-determination, and spiritual living. For that reason, we are unambiguously in support of the lives of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Unambiguously in support of gender equity and equality. Unambiguously in support of LGBTQ+ lives. And unambiguously in support of women being the sole decision makers about their lives, well-being, dignity, and choices. That's why we're here. Okay, and please take a moment to feel the ground beneath your feet and take a deep breath in and out. And so we begin our morning by acknowledging that the land upon which we gather is the unceded territory of the Awas Awas speaking Upi tribe, the Ama Mutsun tribal band. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor the ancestral and current struggle of the original people of this land. Thank you. And I'd like to invite Heather and the Yalalate up for our chant.
CSL. It is so good to be back here with my choir. Oh my gosh. We've had some tears this morning, just being in this space again, singing together indoors. This is one of our homes, so thank you for having us here. La tierra. La tierra, el Oh, this sacred earth. Oh, this sacred earth. Feel her beneath your feet. Feel your heart beating to the rhythm of this land. We are one and united we stand for love and truth and peace and justice. Yes, we are all chosen ones. Sing that with us. Yes, we are all chosen ones. So reach out and take another's hand. Together we'll heal this land. So reach out and take another's hand. Sing with us. Together we'll heal this land. And if you lead, then they will follow. Follow. We will follow. Follow you into a sustainable world where all of life is held as sacred. Gracias a la vida, gracias a mi corazón, gracias a las lágrimas, gracias por la esperanza, gracias a la vida, gracias a mi corazón, gracias a las lágrimas, gracias por la esperanza. Le, 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 le. Sing with us. Le, 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 le. Le, 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 le. One more. Le, 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 le. That was one of my original songs, just so y'all know.
So I just want to introduce the person who's going to pray here. This is my dear friend, Reverend Dr. Bob Dean. When I was going through the Holmes Institute in my ministerial training, Dr. Bob was the dean of the Holmes Institute, so I often used to call him Dr. Dean Bob Dean. And this person listened to me cry most of my way through ministerial school. And has been one of the great supports and teachers in my life. And now you're one of my students. Yes. So Dr. Bob's going to pray us in this morning.
Wow. After that choir and that introduction, I don't know if I can talk. They said introduce myself. Well, you've heard me. My name is Bob Dean, alias Robert Alva Dean III. My ancestry, my pronouns are he and him. My ancestry and this is the first time I've spoken this, and it's very emotional. Muskogee Creek, and Cherokee. On top of that is Wales and England. I've been very proud of that heritage, but I've rarely spoken it aloud, so thank you for this opportunity. I was going to say a whole lot about him, but he just said it, so I can't tell you anymore because I'll be breaking trust. But I will tell you that from the first time I met Reverend Elijah, he was not yet Elisha. He was Elisha, but he wasn't Reverend Elisha, at least not officially. But I knew from the first time I met him that this is a man who would be teaching me and all of us in the future, and is absolutely seeing into the future. I'm so grateful that he's here. He's in his right community, in the right town. Yes. And makes me want to live here. I don't know how I can. Yeah, okay. The water's fine, yes. All right, so join me, if you will, in this prayer, treatment, whatever word you want to call it. So let's take a moment and let's open our minds, our hearts, our ears, our awareness, our listening to the recognition that there is one power, one divine life, one divine love. It is permeating everything that is, and all that is created, all that we know of that's been created, ever will be, or ever has been, is created from that one energy, that one power. It goes by many names, and one of those names is love. So the love of the universe, the love that is the universe, is the stuff we're made of. We're made of star stuff. We're made of stuff that is both thought and energy and love and power and rocks and trees and all of the qualities of the earth, all of the elements of the earth that go into making up our bodies. There's nothing about us ever that is separate from anything else. There's a oneness that runs through all. We use that word sometimes flippantly, but the truth is it's a real reality for each of us. And as I sink into this awareness of the one that I am, the one that I am a perfect representative of, that one that breathes my lungs, that beats my heart, that fills my mind with wonderful ideas and the power of beauty, the power of love. Ah, yes. What I know as the voice of that one in this moment is that right now is the place, the time, right here is the place where the infinite is opening itself to a new vision, a new world, a new way of living, and a world that is creating and building upon the goodness that has gone before. One of my teachers says that there's good and only good, and I believe it. I accept that there is only good, and all of the things that may show up and appear otherwise are simply directing us back toward that good. So I accept that truth. I embrace it. I live in it with joy. I am so grateful to be alive at this time, to have seen the evolution to this point, and to be part of knowing that as it moves forward, I'll be right here with it, one way or another. And knowing that life is unfolding towards good and greater good, and there's nothing to stop it. There's nothing that wants to stop it. There's nothing that can stop it. Knowing that that is the truth, I claim this power for myself. I claim this reality for anyone who else here who also accepts it. So with deep gratitude, I can release this now, knowing it is complete for this moment. If you agree, if you stand in this same truth, join me by saying, and so it is, abracadabra.
Thanks, Dr. Bob. So we're going to talk to you about synthesis a little bit more, but one of the main things about synthesis is that it is about bringing together overlapping circles. And so I want to invite up Yalalati and the Synthesis Fellowship.
It
So take a deep breath in and let go. Another deep breath in and let go. Another deep breath and let go. And so good morning again. Good morning. If you don't know me already, I am Reverend Elisha Christopher. I'm the spiritual director here at the Center for Spiritual Living and also the founder of the Synthesis Fellowship. Yes, I personally like all the pronouns, but they is appropriate, he's appropriate, sometimes she. Call me what you will. My ancestors on my father's side come from Ireland and Scotland, and on my mother's side from Austria and Holland. So, this morning is actually the culmination of something that's been going on for quite some time. These folks on this side of the room over here are part of the Synthesis Chapter 4 class. And we just finished a very intense 2 days of being in, I wouldn't call it a retreat, perhaps an intensive, maybe an advance. We're not going to call these retreats in the future. There was no retreating whatsoever. Definitely moving forward. And the thing that I want to tell you before I invite some of these folks up here is that I began teaching this synthesis curriculum that came through me a number of years ago, and it's been coming through in slow little bits. But something happened in early 2020. I don't know if you remember what happened. But something happened in early 2020, and for me, it became the opportunity to really allow everything that had been wanting to come through, that I didn't have time for, or that I was too distracted by, or I didn't think I was good enough for, or whatever the story was. And it started to come through in the stillness and the space from lockdown. And this story started to emerge for me that, traditions and cultures and religions throughout time have always said there's going to be a great transition or an apocalypse or an age of Aquarius or a second coming or a this or a that. Maybe it's aliens, maybe it's Jesus, I don't know. But all the history has said there's going to come a point where things are going to start to change. And I'll never forget being in first grade the first time I learned about global warming. And then a number of years ago, watching the news when those 4 hurricanes were lined up coming up the Gulf Coast. And I remember my first grade teacher saying, someday this is going to be a problem. And I remember sitting in a couple years ago looking at the TV going, oh, snap. Someday has arrived. Yes. Someday is here. And a myth is a story that is not necessarily factual, but always true. And the myth that I've been telling about this time is that we are all currently, collectively, humanity, planet Earth, stepping into the age of transition. And my story for synthesis has been that 2020 was year 0 of the age of disruption. The day when everything changed. And the story I've been telling my students is that I believe that for every single one of us, in the last couple years, something has been disturbed. It's hit us all in different ways. But look at what's happened in our society. Look at all of the movements, all of the stuff that's rising up for better or for worse. Disturbance is here. And the question I've been asking my students is, when you can find that disturbance and feel the place in you that it has truly hit you, that is where your work is. And so in synthesis, I invite everyone to look at that disturbance and from that ask, what is the one most important thing that I could commit myself to working on? And then we spend the rest of our time bringing everything we do back to that project. We call it your project. But that project evolves over time. Sometimes it changes. But we expand that project to become a greater purpose. There's something that has happened in my life that I need to work on, but it's actually related to the greater story that we're all participating in. And so there's a deeper call for each one of us in those projects. And so the Chapter 4 group has been at this since 2020. This group has been with me since the very beginning. And we did a retreat this weekend where one of the things that we did was we spent some time sharing our stories of this process of finding the disruption, naming our project, and activating our purpose. And the thing that I believe, being that there's almost 8 billion of us now, if every single one of us could just name the one thing that's most important for us to work on, we could fix this situation like that. Right? Because if everyone finds their passion, 8 billion passions should cover every problem. Right? So what I want to do is I'm going to invite up my 5 storytellers. And we did a process this weekend of sharing some of our stories. And then we got to tell those stories back to each other. And so you're going to hear 5 of these stories of disruption to project to purpose. But the thing I'm going to tell you is that the people who are sharing the stories are not necessarily the persons the stories originally came from. Because part of the process has been taking your story and making it my story. And taking my story and making it your story. And in that story sharing, there's a weaving of connection that happens between us. And so we're going to hear these 5 stories that have been harvested from this collective group, and it's going to come through these 5 storytellers. And so where's the microphone? And so I invite everyone to just take a deep breath in, and just take this in. Thanks, Grace.
Well, my project was that my family has some land, and I was going to go live on the land and literally get the lay of the land. How does the water flow? What are the sun patterns? So that I can make this a viable home where it's not me taming the land, but living on the land, and the people that I'm going to invite to come enjoy that with me. In the process of doing that, I was also making social connections with the town that's nearby and living a pretty ordinary life when my sister was struck by a tram, severe brain injury, and disruption.
Growing up Catholic, my family and I suffered together under the weight of holding up a moral order. We had to stay looking good.
It's 2018, and I go to the doctor's office for a routine checkup. Little did I know I would get a diagnosis of Parkinson's. I was given a prescription bottle and asked to leave.
Life is wonderful with my beloved partner. And then in 2020, the disruption, he passed away.
So in the midst of doing all of those things for the land, everything had to stop. And I went to Germany to tend to my sister and found out that what moving forward looks like requires a shift in what I thought my project was, my synthesis project. May or may not be about the land all by itself. It may be about tending to my sister and the land and the family circle that comes with all of that.
So even though my family, though we taught each other to deny ourselves in order to live out our faith, our shared experience softened their hearts when I left. And I wandered spiritually for many years. I came through the doors of this center in 2000 and found Science of Mind. And for 20 years, I pursued saying yes to good, and saying yes to others in service. All the time knowing that I had growth waiting for me that I was ignoring. Every time it came up, I would dive back under and just say yes to service. When the pandemic hit, all of my excuses dropped away. Every security became an insecurity. So I joined Synthesis with a project of gaining compassion for Trump. What I found instead was compassion for myself. I found the ability to say no, to understand I was serving a higher good by speaking truth, even when it was difficult. And I can honestly say now, that disruption was a blessed disturbance.
So with the diagnosis, I went home and I did research. I looked into it, and I found out that it was a terrible disease, detrimental, life-changing. But I refused to let that be my story, and I refused to say yes to that. So instead, I turned inward and did self-care. I had to step away from a couple jobs that I really loved. I had to step away from a project, and instead I focused on things for my mental health and well-being. Qigong, I banged some dudes. Thanks. Meditation, and being in my community. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. And what I realized was that I couldn't necessarily turn to my family for support. It wasn't really there, but I had support here. And I decided to seek out my family, other families going through this, and other people that have been dealing with Parkinson's. And my Synthesis project became telling their stories, telling my story as inspiration.
I can only describe what happened next as bone-crushing grief. Not sure when I had brushed my teeth or not. Not sure when I took a shower. Fortunately, I was surrounded by beloveds who walked me through that very, very difficult time. I joined up with the synthesis process with an original project of doing my grieving and grieving well, making sure that I took care of all the things I needed to. So the next year was spent in tears and agony and crying, and then it gradually shifted into appreciating and celebrating the good that we had shared together. And then my project began to shift and change, and I actually changed it to what's now in my life? What is my new nowness? And that is now being guided very well by two ideas, the idea of freedom and the idea of joy. And those are the things I am living for at this moment.
Within a short period of time, I lost my father, my sister, and my mom to cancer. Within that time, within that grief, I also began to be fearful that I also was, that I had a predisposition to cancer. So one of the doctors recommended that I go get tested. Turns out I was not predisposed to cancer. Turns out I have a choice whether or not I'm going to live my life with the vision of optimal health or go another direction. It's up to me. And so when I joined Rev Elisha's synthesis program, my project became my body, my health, my optimal health. And as I began to heal and feel well, more and more well, I realized how my and all of our individualized expressions of health are, or wellness or not wellness, is a reflection of the world around us, and that the world is actually really sick. This planet is really sick. And that we need to do our own work in order to inspire each other to become more optimally healthy and for the planet to thrive, so that we are all on this train towards thriving together and inspiring each other together. Everyone feels and carries different parts of the story, and together we weave the net of remembrance. We are not made, we are not created to hold this all alone. Repeat after me. Everyone feels and carries. Everyone feels and carries different parts of the story, different parts of the story. Good. Everybody in unison on that part again. Everyone feels and carries different parts of the story, and together we weave the net, and together we weave the net of remembrance, of remembrance, and together we weave the net of remembrance, and together we weave the net of remembrance. Everyone feels and carries different parts of, keep that going, and together we weave the net of remembrance. Together we weave the net of remembrance. Keep it going. We are not made, we are not created to hold this all alone. We are not made, we are not created to hold this all. Real quiet, but with energy. Yeah. We are not made, we are not created to hold this all alone. One more time. We are not made, we are not created to hold this all alone. That song is by Alexandra Blakely. Everybody say that name. Alexandra Blakely.
Alexandra Blakely. Take a deep breath in. You know, here at the Center for Spiritual Living, we often refer to our global vision, which is our collective vision of the world that we want to see emerge. And each one of us carries a different piece of that story. And so I want to invite you for a moment just to close your eyes and just take a moment to reflect and think about the last couple years. Maybe just start with 2020 and move forward. If you could scan your life, what has come your direction, what you're seeing in the world, is there one thing that stands out above all others that has really moved you at your core? We'll call it a disruption. And is there in that something that you can commit to? Some work, some shift, some change that you're willing to commit to find your purpose through that disruption. And as you find that thing, I want to invite you just to begin to stand as your yes, as your commitment to your own work, to carrying your piece of the story. And take a deep breath in and let go. And I want to invite everyone to rub your hands together. And place them out in front of you. And take another deep breath in. Ernest Holmes says that there is a presence that goes before me, that makes the way easy and clear, that tells me what to do, when to do it, how to act, and when to act. Gene Houston calls this the lure of becoming, the entelechy. I call it the one who is always standing in front of me saying, "Come, be me." And so I know for each one of us, there is one who is standing in front of us right now. Imagine you could feel their hands pressing against yours. And that one is standing in front of you, beckoning you forward, saying, "Come, be me." It is this one who has placed this disturbance into your life. It is this one who is asking you to commit to your work, to carry your piece of the story. And so if you're willing to invite this presence into your life and allow it to lure you towards the possible, just say yes. And so as we stand in this place together, I just claim, know, and declare that indeed there is something great at work here. There is something more here than we can see. There is an energy. There is a consciousness. I call it God, or life, or evolution, or the universe. We all have different words for it. But let's just acknowledge that there is something here beyond the visible. And it is living and breathing in, through, and as each one of us. And it is awakening in us right now the seeds of possibility for a vision of the future, of who we can be, of the world we want to see, of the possible future we call it in. Because as Gene Houston would say, now is the time, and we are the people. And so let us never forget, in the words of Margaret Mead, that a small group of committed citizens is the only thing that has ever changed the world. Yes. And so let us come together and commit and be the change we wish to see. And let us do it here and now and forevermore. And so it is. Have a seat. Thank you very much. I'm going to invite the band up. I'm going to ask my ushers to come forward. This is our time in our service for conscious giving, and I just want to say if you are inspired or uplifted by what is going on here, this is your opportunity to invest in our community, to support the growth of what is happening in this place. And so if you have a gift to give, just take it out. If you want to just place a hand next to your heart, repeat after me. For all that I am, for all that I have, for all that I give, for all that I receive, I am truly grateful. And I am so blessed. Let us continue in this moment by taking another deep breath in. I want to ask any practitioners and ministers in the room to stand. As we just take this moment first and foremost to just be in gratitude for all of the gifts given, for all that allows this community to be what it is and what it is becoming. Not just the financial gifts, but the time, the talent, the energy, the stories, the history. There is so much here that is making us who we are and is leading us to who we are becoming. And so for all of it, I just speak this deep word of gratitude. And from that gratitude, I now speak to a word of blessing and activation for all of the prayers in our prayer box, for all the prayers that have come through to our prayer team, for all the barks and dogs and all the love. I just speak a word of blessing on all of it, because I know that there is so much on the hearts and minds of each one of us, and indeed of the people of our world. There is so much we are being asked to hold right now. And so let us just speak a word of blessing on all of it. And then let us take this consciousness that we have collected here today and multiply it and activate it. And so for anyone who is in this room who is seeking healing in the physical body in any way, I invite you right now to stand into your willingness to receive that pattern of wholeness into your body. For anyone who's seeking healing in the areas of finances, abundance, or prosperity, or housing, or any need of physical or financial support, please stand into your willingness to receive that outpouring of good into your life. For anyone who's seeking healing in the areas of love, relationship, or forgiveness, I invite you to stand right now into your willingness to accept that love. And for all of us, and for any of us who are willing to say yes to the disturbance and claim our piece of the puzzle and begin to live into a new story, activating the possible future, the possible world, the world that works for everyone, I invite us to stand and say yes to that. Yes. And as we expand this one more time, if there is anyone on your heart and mind who you want to include in this collective energy, speak their names out loud right now. And so we bring all of this together and return to gratitude. How grateful I am for this community, for this collective of deeply committed people to their own work, to building community, and to being a powerful force for positive change in the world, activating possibility. And so with another deep breath in, let us one more time say yes. Yes. And so it is. Synthesis, abracadabra. Have a seat.
Amazing is amazing. I want to just put a little plug that I have a card swiper. If you'd like to give by card, you can find me in the social hall after. Also, reminder that upcoming this Saturday, October 22nd, from 9 to 2 o'clock is our Felt Street Flea Market. It's the last of the season, so don't miss out on grabbing some treasures. We need volunteers. See Becky, she's standing up and waving. Volunteers! Okay, and there's little shifts and little things that you can do to help put it all together. Also, I want to let you know that on December 10th and 11th, we're having our annual artisan boutique. So at this point now, if you are a crafter or an artisan of any kind and you would like to be a vendor at that event, please see me in the social hall. You can also email me at Leah, L-E-A, at CSLSantaCruz.org. And that's going to be Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 4 and 12 to 3. And we've got an amazing thing upcoming next Sunday following service, actually from 2 to 5, is our compassionate and courageous conversations about reproductive rights and human rights. It's an interfaith panel and discussion with local and spiritual and religious leaders. And that's from 2 to 5 here outdoors in the center. You can find a flyer up on our board. You'll also see it, it's posted on our Facebook page. So please take that event and share it. We would love to have our community join us. We're hosting. Okay, so next we have Saturday, November 5th from 1 to 5:30. Experience the love you already are, an afternoon of family constellations with Molly Salins. Yes, yay, we're looking forward to that. And we are having in our abundance period that we're doing in November, we are having a new member class where we will welcome new members. So come to that class Sunday after service on November 13th. Find out what is Science of Mind. Find out a little bit about the history of the center, the history of the New Thought movement, and what does it mean to be a member of CSL Santa Cruz. And we've put together some fun little perks. So it's going to be new for new members. So that's Saturday, November 14th. No, Saturday. No, I moved on. Sunday, November 13th. Saturday, November 14th. This is not a perk for new members, although we'd love to have you, is our fall cleaning party. Those are just some of the fun things you get to do. And we're going to be cleaning the center. We're getting ready for welcoming something new and great. So there's cleaning all the rooms, all the way down to the file cabinet. So please join us Saturday, November, what's that? 19th. I can't even read my own writing. Thank you. Okay, and October 30th is our now our annual. We did it last year. It was very fun. Our Halloween and Dia de los Muertos celebration. Bring photos of your beloved friends and family who has passed on, and we're going to do a wonderful ceremony here. There's so much more going on. Save the date for our holiday party, December 16th. Always keep up with your e-news for dates, times, our Facebook page. There's clearly a lot happening here. In the social hall, you'll find a sign that says you can scan the QR code to join our e-news mailing list, or go to our website at cslsantacruz.org. Next Sunday, our potluck in our alphabet system is going to be people with the last name S through Z. And so then you bring a little dish to share. And thank you for the M through R's, I think, this week for bringing our feast and some leftovers from our retreat. I want to give special thanks, now's the time for thanks, to our online viewers on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Our media magicians, Susan Pankratz and Maggie Dreyer, that make this all happen. Woo! Our musical muse, Heather Houston and the Yalalati Choir. And our CSL band. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Reverend Elijah Christopher and our Synthesis Fellowship. Thank you so much. I just want to say a little thing about this Synthesis Fellowship because you've heard a lot about it. It's really amazing, and it's been such a gift in my life to connect with all of you across the country and now across the world with our Firefly in Germany, and let you know that if all of this sounds enticing and you've found your little puzzle piece, we will be offering Chapter 1 again in the early spring. So keep your eye out for that. And a thanks to Ellen in the kitchen. Just to know, we always, help is always needed and appreciated. So if you're able to stay after and do a little cleaning up, thanks so much. And one last time, we get to invite up Heather Houston and the Yalalati Choir.
Is it on? Yes, it's on. I just want to let you know as well that for, over 10 years, we have held, as a choir, a concert, a winter concert, 2 winter concerts, annually here in this space. And since the pandemic, we haven't been able to do that. We did one outside in the spring, which is sweet. But we're going to be back here on December 10th and 11th holding an indoor concert. So as soon as the flyers are ready and tickets are ready, I'll put a flyer up on the board there so that you can come and be with us and sing with us and receive all this beauty. We're learning songs in Croatian. We're learning a song from the mother tongue of Europe. So many gorgeous songs that we're excited to share with you. And today we're going to close with Tending the Spark, an original of mine. Where do I put this? So I'm going to invite you to sing the first verse with us, the first round with us. And then I invite you on the second round, when we go into harmony with each other, to receive a sound bath from us. Yeah? Sound bath. A sound bath. Got it. A healing sound bath. And then on the third round, I'll invite you all back in to sing with us. Sound good? Everyone together in unison. 1, 2. And we will care for each other as the world around us unravels. tend to the spark of hope that lives within our grieving hearts, and we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts, and we are here now, we have come together, we are tending the spark of hope. Oh, may it grow, and we will care for each other as the world around us unravels, and we will tend to the spark of hope that lives within our grieving hearts, and we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts, and we are here now, we have come together, we are tending the spark of hope. Oh, may it grow, and we will care for each other as the world around us unravels, and we will tend to the spark of hope that lives within our grieving hearts, and we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts, and we are here now, we have come together, we are tending the spark of hope. Oh, may it grow, and we will care for each other.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name?
Debbie.
Debbie. Have we met before?
No.
Okay, Debbie, Reverend Elisha. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here.